I was putting my kid to bed on a Friday night when I got an SMS from the president. He was like, "New government, who dis?" I put my kid down, who was about to scream, and I said, "What about the old government? We voted twice." And he said, "Paleambang, Apache's back." And then he just sent me this weird-ass GIF. It was an odd Friday night. Now, one thing I'm trying to teach my kids is how to share without beating each other over the heads, which is hard, because sharing sucks. Here's how it works. This is a bunch of Legos, and this is an election. If there's more of your color, you get to play for 4.5 years. If there's more of mine, I get to play for 4.5. There's no biting and no hair pulling. And in exchange, no one takes our toys away and sends us to bed without our supper. It's a civilized way to share power. That's basically what a democracy does. And you don't need to be a lawyer to understand. My kids understand, and they still shit themselves. Sorry. Speaking of shitting themselves, let's get back to our friends Mahinda and Maitripala, the naughty kids in Montessori. Eminem thought they could steal all the toys and bribe the other kids to get away with it. So they offered each MP up to $3 million, which is not play money. For reference, this is almost as much as the country spends in a year on Mahapolo scholarship. It's 5 times as much as we spend on research on diabetes, dengue, CKDU, and cancer. And it's 5 times as much as we spend on equipment to stop dengue. It's almost 3 times as much as we spend to improve rural water supply and sanitation. But as I mentioned, Eminem couldn't do it. They said they'd open Parliament on the 5th, and then the 7th, and then the 14th, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't get a majority. Their plan was so disgusting and awful that even politicians couldn't do it. And that's saying something, because politicians will do anything. That plan didn't work, so now they say they want a new election, which sounds like democracy, except no, that's just flipping the board over when you don't like how the game is going. But we're not children, are we? This parliament, which we already elected, has a 1.5 years to go. You can't steal from people, lie about it, and then throw everything away. That's not how a democracy works. That's not even how a preschool works. If you break all the toys, no one gets to play, and this isn't a game. So to get back to reality, it doesn't matter who you support. What matters is that we take turns, because the next people to have a turn are your children and my children. When grown-ups don't take turns, people die and economies collapse. If we don't follow the rules and share, Sri Lanka will not be a safe place to raise children. When I was putting my kids to sleep on October 26th, Sri Lanka had a constitution and we had a government that we'd elected. When they woke up in the morning, that was all gone. And that's not how it's supposed to be. If we don't go back to October 25th, we're not just going to break some toys. We're going to break Asia's oldest democracy, a democracy that has survived insurrections, assassinations, and war. I really hope that we can survive a grown man having a temper tantrum, but it's going to take a lot of work from all of us. So please, adults, it's not that complicated. Just listen to what we tell our children. Be nice, take turns, and play by the rules.